You know, of all the crimes of Donald Trump, of all the transgressions of Donald Trump, of all the violations of the Constitution of Donald Trump, there's one that is, to me, unforgivable. And that is the insurrection. That is the attempted overthrow of the United States government by way of overturning a free and fair, settled American election during which there was no fraud. It's the thing that I will never forgive him for, or the traitors, the domestic terrorists who converged upon the United States Capitol. They call it the temple of our democracy, and they attacked it. They traipsed through it with Confederate traitor flags. They were armed. Police died. They beat and battered Capitol police officers and Metropolitan District of Columbia police with American flags. They flew their racist white supremacy flag. It was just a nightmare. And I hope you feel the same way about it. I've been face to face with a couple of these people at recent protests and the day of the inauguration where I interviewed people. And I told them to their faces, they were traitors. They committed treason against the country. And now Donald Trump, for this unforgivable sin, this violation of the Constitution, the violation of the public trust, is forwarding the idea that he's going to create a public reparations fund for these domestic terrorists because they had to endure minor consequences for a brief time until they were pardoned by him. He was on yesterday with Newsmax with Greg Kelly, the credibly accused rapist, the son, another nepo-baby, the son of the former New York City police commissioner who oversaw stop and frisk and other violations of the Constitution that they claim to love and support and defend. And he talked about this fund. Brace yourself. This is the worst possible timeline.
No, but I took care of them. I said I was going to, and I did.
Is there any talk of, because they lost opportunity, they lost income, any kind of compensation fund?
Well, there's talk about that. We have a lot of people talk about it. A lot of the people that are in government now talk about it because a lot of the people in government really like that group of people. They were patriots as far as I was concerned. I talk about them a lot. They were treated very unfairly. You know, the thing they show is they show a group of 1,000, whatever it may have been, 1,500 people down. What they don't show, you never see the crowd that day. It was the biggest crowd I've ever spoken before. It went all the way to the Washington Monument. It was so wide, you virtually couldn't see anything else but people. They never show that. Whether it was 1 million people or less than 1 million, I don't know what it was, but you know, I see Bernie Sanders has a few people out there. They say, oh, the crowd is so big. They don't talk about the crowds. But a group of people went down there peacefully and patriotically. Remember that.
Now, of course, he slipped into crowd size mode and made it about him and not what he's going to do for these great patriots of America who entered into a conspiracy one with another. Some of them were actually convicted of seditious conspiracy. This is an attempt to destroy the country and end democracy in America. And not only are they rewarded with full presidential pardons, some clemency, he wants to pay them. And the problem is, we are in a system, we are in a setup, we are in, like I said, the worst possible fucking timeline here, that we have a Congress that is complicit. It's filled with bootlicking sycophants who will give Donald Trump his every whim. He will put the domestic terrorists on the payroll so that they are in ready reserve, ready to be activated to be his mercenary force, to be his private militia army to carry out his wishes. Maybe that's a bridge too far. I don't think so, though. Would you put it past Donald Trump to have in the reserves a group of people who will do his bidding, who will believe the most wild lies and conspiracies that he can come up with? And now it's in the open being publicly talked about to create because they lost income, they lost opportunity, any kind of compensation. Oh, we got to pay these people. Thanks for your effort to try to overthrow the government. Thanks for your effort in your treason against the country, your seditious conspiracy. Thank you. Here's a check. While they fire veterans, while they dismantle the United States government from within, now they're using democracy to end democracy. They're violating the Constitution of every hour of every day, ignoring federal judges' orders, still yet to be held in contempt because of the slow, methodical pace that federal judges undertake. And it's that same slow, methodical pace that is the reason we're in the straits that we are with Merrick Garland, who abided by this pace and this, oh, we're going to be dispassionate, when actually what they're doing is saving face and trying to avoid appearing like they are biased in any way. The crime is the crime. And this will be further, more crime to pay these people for their effort to overthrow the United States government. While, by the way, millions of descendants of slaves are denied reparations. But if you try to overthrow the country and you're white, and you're a white supremacist, and you're a white nationalist, a white Christian nationalist, payday, brother, payday. But if you have generationally been denied opportunities based on the color of your skin and your ancestry, that you are tied to people who were owned like property, different story. For you, it's f*** you, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. But if you're an insurrectionist, oh, you need compensation. You lost opportunities. Donald Trump's America. Anyway, what do you think? I'd love to know. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. You can also email me, daily@dollemore.com. Please consider, if I bring you value, if there's somebody else on this platform or another platform that does something for you in independent media, in this space, in my cohort of creators, whether it be YouTube or Substack or something, support that person. These times it is needed more than ever. But if I am that guy for you, if I scratch that itch, so to speak, if I bring you value, if I give you information that you do value, please consider supporting and helping me produce these videos on a daily basis. You can click the join button below to become a channel member for $1.99 a month. You can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Those are great ways. You can also go visit the brand new refurbished merch store at Dollemore.com. We're selling a children's book called The Grateful Child that is awesome. You can also get that on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and Walmart and everywhere you get books. But I would appreciate the support very much. Every little bit goes a long way toward defraying production costs and paying staff that we're trying to hire to ramp up what we do here, especially in the face of the horrors that are certainly to come. And I would appreciate your involvement. Thank you very much. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm at Dollemore. I'd love to see you there. And I will see you next time. Until then, again, worst possible timeline, the worst. Be genuine. Take care of one another.